Okay, so let's start with our last presentation by Yukio Tono. And it's about recent innovations in eLexicography in Japan.
Okay. Thank you very much for coming to my talk. This is the last one, and despite the rain, there's so many people, I'm so glad. The program says Japanese eLexicography, but I'm focusing on a bilingual kind of a English-Japanese lexical resources for teaching English language. So today I would like to talk a little bit about the project which I'm involved in with the NHK. NHK is a broadcasting center in Japan. And we're creating a database of the past skit and program archives of the NHK programs. And we annotate all the skits with rich information, for example, grammar, patterns, and functions. So some of the information usually you do not readily retrieve from dictionary. So, I think it's useful for language teaching purposes to create such a lexical database. And eCast is a multimodal lexicogrammatical functional dictionary or database using this NHK original database. And the primary aim is to support ELT materials developers or teachers to create communicative tasks easily. So it's a web-based resource, so teacher can access it and search for the database or dictionary, and then find some useful skits for creating tasks for their students. And Weblio is very popular, one of the most popular dictionary portals in Japan, and I will just show you how to integrate some Weblio functions into the eCast so that both enhancing the characteristics of each other. Well, this is a building of NHK. It's very big, and they're broadcasting several different channels like this. And there's a dedicated educational channel, and similar to BBC Two. And they broadcast various educational programs, including foreign language learning. And currently, they offer 15 different programs for English. And also, there are other language courses like Italian, German, French, and about 7 or 8 different languages. And if you go to the portal site, no, not this one, sorry. It's kind of difficult to look at these extended windows. Where am I? Maybe it's too big. These are some of the list of the English programs offered at the moment. Well, all the textbooks are written in Japanese as a kind of a medium of instruction, so you may find it a little bit difficult. But when you go to other languages, Italian, German, and French, and Spanish, and others. Okay. I worked with NHK about 10 years ago. I came back from Lancaster after getting my PhD in corpus linguistics, and I helped develop the program based upon the corpora. So it ran for 3 years. Very nice, good-looking MCs actually lead the program, and the character called Mr. Corpus introduces the corpus ranking for 100 basic keywords and showing all the collocation patterns. And we created all the original skits shot in the UK and New Zealand and UK, Australia, and the United States. And I'm here, I'm a bit younger, but I'm with Corpus, the personality called Mr. Corpus. Anyway, it became very, very popular, and all the textbooks are sold very well back then. And I became very popular, and when I was on the train, people can recognize me and, oh, Mr. Corpus. And I sometimes, invite international researchers from abroad, and they're so surprised because ordinary people in Japan know the word corpus, because corpus is a kind of technical term back then. So, even lay persons in Japan recognize the word corpus. Well, but it's already, 10 years since then, so people kind of very easy to forget about everything, so I'm not popular anymore, but anyway, I'm supporting this NHK English database. In 2011, NHK launched a project of compiling a database of all the previous text materials using for the ELT programs. And well, they have like a 50 or 60 years history, but we focused on the recent 15 years of archives. And as of August 2015, around 9,300 texts, mainly conversation skits, with more than 120,000 sentences are stored. And at the moment, the database itself is for in-house use only. I'll just show you quickly. The metadata is quite rich in the sense that all the information about the program, and also it's got some information about the situation and topics and speaker relations in the dialogue. For example, only one person speaks, or dialogue, or more than two persons are involved, and their relationship, like their family or students and teachers, and strangers, or that kind of information can be retrieved. And also for each lesson, there's a grammar point. So for example, they introduce to infinitive as a kind of a nominal use of the to infinitive for a particular lesson, then that grammar point is there. And for each line in the skit or text, we have all the annotations, linguistic annotations. Maybe I can go back to the web and show you the actual site. I'm practicing how to do the demo, but this extended windows kind of gives me a really hard time. Anyway, I'll try. Let's see. So this is a sentence. So this is all the master kind of database. And you can make a query based upon, for example, function. There's all the function category. These function categories are based upon the CEFAR level categories. So when you go to the threshold level series, there are a whole bunch of functions, list of functions. So annotators look at these and annotate each sentence for functions. So let's go to, for example, main page. And here you could, for example, choose situation, topic, and function, and grammar. So this will limit your search to a particular skit, which showing a particular sentence with a function or topic or sentence patterns. And then, for example, if you go to a particular one, let's take this one, then you will be taken to an actual skits, and for each one there's all the detailed annotation about function and grammar. And this is actually online annotation system. So if you want to change the system, some of the annotations, then you can click here and you can search for the list of functions and you can correct it. So human annotators can work on this system to annotate each line, and if you find mistakes, you can correct it on the spot. Let's see. So yeah, I have to go back. And of course, if you click on each sentence, there's a further information like a part of speech for each one. It's all in Japanese at the moment. I'm trying to transfer all the information into English now, but this is primarily for in-house use only for NHK people. So, and also there's a link to the video or audio clip, if you want to hear the sound. So anyway, we are working on this database at the moment, and one of the outcome of this database is eCast. So let me go back and show you. So in the case of conventional dictionaries, I have been working on dictionary use, research, and also lookup processes. In the case of monolingual or bilingual dictionaries, usually the primary aim of the search is to find the meaning or spelling. So for decoding purposes, you usually look for a particular word for its meaning or spelling. If you want to use a monolingual or bilingual dictionary for encoding purposes, you usually search for grammar or collocation information. And you can do the same for L1, L2 type of dictionaries for encoding purposes. But usually you search for all the information for a particular word. Unless you know the word, then you cannot search for the information. So in the case of the thesaurus type of things, then you search for the concept or topic. Then you go down into actual list of words so that you can choose the particular words which suit your needs. But for language teachers, there's other lookup needs. For example, they want to show all the examples related to a particular language function. For example, making a request, or showing agreement, offering some help. That kind of language functions are very difficult to search in the dictionary. So probably language functions are very key for us language learners to search for particular language items in the dictionary. So there's no one-to-one relationship. That is the problem. So, so still functions are crucial keys for enabling learners to use language appropriately in context. These days, a self-out kind of concept is getting very popular around the world. So people try to set their learning objectives as something that you can do with a language. But, then what kind of exponents or language expressions have to go with each can-do descriptors? That is very hard to do. So Cambridge people are working on it now. The project called English Profile. And we are also working on our own framework in Japan. Anyway, since it is very difficult to search for functions, probably normal dictionaries cannot offer such a database. So I do believe that we need a new kind of resource. So let me show you the quick demo of eCast. I've already I have only 5 minutes. Yeah. So 5 minutes for demo. Let me go to this extended drive. And here. And very big. So let me make it smaller. Yes. So at the moment, most of the all the buttons are in Japanese, but I'm trying to transferring them into to English. Anyway, there are several field or search options. One is a curriculum-based. If you are interested in grammar point, then grammar points are classified into junior high school first year, second year, and third year. This is because most of the contents at the moment are from basic English program, which is tuned to a junior high school English syllabus. So that's why junior high school, first year, second year, third year, all the grammar items to be introduced at each level will be highlighted like this. Of course, you can go to in each grade, and then you can go to language expression list, and then you can search for either function or situations. Then when you go to a function list, you can see all these functions here. And when you go to a particular function, and then there's a list of all the expressions. It's still half done in English, so I'm sorry about that. When you go to a situation, or the situation list, which is tagged for particular skits. So anyway, we can search, then what can you do? Of course, we have a little bit more free interface. You can, for example, type in particular word, like make. And you can search for a particular construction. For example, SVOC and complement for adjective for complement. Then you can search for the database. Then all the skits will be shown which have that construction. And then it will be taken to particular skit. You can identify whether that's a skit or monologue. When you click here, then you'll be taken to a dialogue set. And you can show the Japanese, if you want, you can show some kind of skit in Japanese with the Japanese together. I have to close it. Sorry. Let's put it here. And you can show the Japanese. Maybe I have to close it to come back. There's no button. Sorry.
Try pressing the turn. There might be a default button below the screen.
Yeah, that's right. Make it minimize. Maybe I can't. Let's see. Do you know how to do it? Sorry about that. Maybe I have to minimize it. Press return. Press return. Oh, thank you. I have only 2 minutes, so I have to rush. You can show the Japanese translation, and you can also download particular bits of phrases for creating a listening quiz. So you can download only the sound files for particular lines, and you can create that for exercises. You can also go to print. We call it print in Japanese, but kind of handout, worksheet creation kind of window. So you can just edit this whole skit as you like. For example, here, make me beautiful. So if you want to make it hide, then you just hide. This is blank. And then you make it print. Then you can see this part is actually made it blank so that you can have a kind of listening practice or whatever. So that helps teachers to focus on a particular language function, a grammar, and retrieve the skits, and then modify or edit the skit as they like, so that they can have one-off kind of handout for your own lesson. So that's a very practical tool. So we're trying to encourage language teachers and also Board of Education to use this kind of web resources for creating their teaching materials. Okay, let me go back and quickly summarize. So in the future, we are thinking about the linking, because we have all the tags for functions to each skit or sentence. Then we are interested in linking several kind of concepts to a particular skit. So, you know, in order to be trained to perform particular tasks in English, then you should use this kind of list of skits for your own practice. So that's sort of the relationship between can-do descriptors and actual skits or tasks will be very useful resources for teachers. And, well, I'll just skip this part. In the future, NHK would like to enrich the database in such a way that it will be useful to evaluate their own past programs and what kind of can-do descriptors or functions are dealt with in the skit in the past. And they would like to improve what kind of extra additional programs will be needed in order to fill the gap, you know, for example, in terms of the CFL scales. Well, this could be reused for external, you know, for example, publishers and materials developers. They might want to access this database for supporting their materials development. And also, this could be used for e-learning resources as well. So in the future, they would like to integrate this whole thing into the CFL. Well, native speaker corpora are fine, but like the situation in Japan, usually the level of English is very, very low. So even though they graduate from universities, the survey shows that 80% of the Japanese people belong to A level, even after graduation from university. So we have a huge problem about English language teaching. So we are hoping to develop some kind of resources like this to support next reform in English language teaching. Okay, that's all. Thank you.
Thank you. Now questions. Any questions?
Very impressive, thank you. So you had those English sentences that were, you could search them by the grammatical construction.
Yes.
Is that information, do you encode that only for the English sentences or for the corresponding Japanese sentence as well?
Only English. Of course, you can search from Japanese side only, you know, kind of character string search you can do. Right. But there's no syntactic information for Japanese construction.
Right. So this is mostly for learning English. Is there any sort of work on using the same resource to teach English-speaking people Japanese?
Well, at the moment, NHK haven't thought about that sort of applications, but in the future, maybe. Right. Thank you.
Any other questions? No? Then thank you again.
Thank you.
Yukio. This